It is the Gala of Peace. However, I'm sure we will be doing just a little bit of backstabbing. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brie and this is 4 Paws in a Book. This evening marks the start of the 48-hour readathon that happens within Realmathon. So the goal is to read a bunch of stuff, read short things, because for every book that we submit, we get an extra 10 points. So we're trying to read all of the fun short things. I have a video where I talked about my pile of possibilities if you want to check that out. Obviously, I'm not going to read all of that, but we are going to make a pretty good dent in it. I have no plans this weekend, okay? None. We're just gonna read. We're gonna be on sprints. We're gonna read. We're going to have a good time. It's snowing-ish. It was snowing earlier. I think the sun finally came out. But it's supposed to be cold, so I'm, underneath my heated blanket. I'm doing some crocheting. We're gonna do some coloring this weekend. It's just gonna be a fun time. I actually might do my little murder mystery coloring book this weekend. That might be kind of fun. We'll see what happens. Again, no plans. But what I'm going to be starting with is going to be A Descent of Dragons by Jasmine Young. This is the prequel novella to A Breaking of Realms that I read last week. And I am working as her marketing assistant, so I'm working through all of this series. And so there are 2 novellas, and I want to get to both of those this week. Other than that, I don't have any plans. We're just going to go with the flow. So it is just after 5 o'clock Mountain Time, and we're going to start reading. And we're on a sprint already. I'm going to be making some barbecue chicken sandwiches tonight with onion rings. It's gonna be delicious, and yeah, let's get some reading done. Hello, it's a few hours later, which is why I look like this, because I had to turn my big light on. But it is a little after 8, so we are 3 hours in, and I finished 2 things. But they're both very short. So the first one I finished was A Descent of Dragons. So this is the prequel that happens just before A Breaking of Realms from the dragon's perspective, and it's kind of our dragon finding Skalda, and this these decisions. It's very much like lore and world building. So I really enjoyed this. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's almost like too short to give a rating because it's like 40 pages or something like that. Very, very short. But it just kind of adds another layer to the story that I just read. So I would recommend that if you are reading Breaking of Realms, that you read this one either right after it or even right before it. You could almost read it as a prologue, and you can get it for free if you sign up for Jasmine's newsletter. So then you just get the Kindle copy of it. And then I also finished a Quest of Rangers, and this one I loved. I think I'm gonna give this one 4.5 stars. This one happens, it's also a prequel, but it actually happens long before, 60 years before A Breaking of Realms, and then she's writing a prequel novel right now called A Season of Steel. Which is when the realm building is founded. And so this actually ends with him being I am going to this is how we're going to do these realm building. And the world of this is so interesting. It's basically if Dragon Riders were an MLM, because it's you build out your dragon team, and you as you kind of rank up based on the dragons and based on the things that the dragons do and how much combat they've been in and all this stuff. And so it's as you get a stronger dragon and as you get a stronger team, essentially, you also rank up. It's a pyramid scheme, but dragons, which I think is a very unique and interesting world building aspect. So anyways, that's what this is. So this is a prequel, and it's following a character that we meet in Breaking of Realms. It's just at the beginning, his origin story, and so that was really cool. Anyways, I think we're gonna switch gears. I think we're gonna go to romance. I kind of want to just turn my brain off, chill for a little bit. So we're going to listen to the novellas from Denise Williams' bind up. So the first one is The Love Connection. They all take place at an airport, which I just think is kind of cute. So that's what we're going to do. And then also I started working on the murder mystery coloring book, and I was like, oh, this will be really fun. I'll be able to work through it this weekend. I'm fairly certain that it's an AI coloring book, and that sucks. I should have known better, because it wasn't it didn't have a name. It didn't have an artist's name that I recognized. And so I was like, oh, You know, I should have known. Some of the lines are just like, they don't make sense. You know, like there's like this wood panel and then some of the lines are like off-centered. I don't know. It was really weird. So I was trying to like make it work and then I was getting frustrated with it. So we're not going to do that one. So I'm going to work on this one instead. It's from the same book that I was working on last week. But I'm going to do this one. It's a little cute little garden thing, and she's like taking a selfie in front of the wall of flowers. So that's what we're gonna do, and I'm a little bummed because I thought that would be a fun coloring book to do, but I got dog hair on me. It's a good start. We're off to a good start. I am going to attack with my first one. There's not very many points. It's like 14 points or something like that, because they're always obviously short. We will get to the extra 10 points, but that's a defense for us. But I did a Patreon poll. I decided to do, for my emoji poll for my patrons, I did things that were on the covers of the books that the hosts were reading at the end of the first sprint. And so Katie was reading Sheets, which is a ghost. Oh, that was loud. Lexi is reading The Whispering Dead, which takes place at a church. I wanted like a cemetery, but they didn't have an emoji for that. And then Tori's, okay, this is The Fly. Technically they're dragonflies on the cover of her book, but there's not a dragonfly. At least I couldn't find one. A dragonfly emoji, so we did a fly. It is the closest thing I could find. Like I said, those were a bit of a stretch, but it's funny because everyone thought that the ghost was Lexi, because those work together, and so they were thinking that they were attacking the ravens, but they were actually attacking the stingers, and that's the one that won. So we're gonna attack the stingers with our first one, and then the second one we are defending. Hello, happy Saturday. It is much later in the day than I was anticipating, but I haven't checked in with you. I spent way too long editing this morning because I was not ahead and I did not edit my vlog from last week, so I had to do that today. But you should go check that one out. That one's fun. Let's chat though, because I do have some things to talk about. So I wanted to switch gears. I wanted to read some romance. So last night I read The Love Connection by Denise Williams. There's 3 novellas that all have very similar titles. This is the first one. I gave this one 5 stars. And this is the interesting conversation about Denise Williams, because she's such a polarizing author for me specifically, in that I absolutely love some of her books and I really, really detest some of them. And it all stems from if I like the male main character. Because in this one, he's a sweet cinnamon roll, okay? He catches the dog that is running away. I don't understand why someone has a dog grooming place in an airport and why that's suddenly a thing that people want, but okay. I don't know why that's a marketable thing, but it is. Anyways, so she's a dog groomer. She runs into this guy because the dog got away and he caught her, and then they have this really cute moment. Like, he travels a lot and she like sees him get off this plane every single week, and it's really cute, okay? It was so sweet. They have a little bit of trauma, both of them do, and they are working through it. They end up working through it together. Love that one. 5 stars. Then we read The Mist Connection, I think is the second one, and I think I'm gonna give this one 2 stars. This one feels like we took bits and pieces out of a full-length novel, and so we as the reader are missing half the story, because they are very hot and cold. Like, they have this connection together on New Year's Eve. So she is stuck in an airport on a New Year's Eve, and so she's like, well, it's midnight, I'm gonna kiss somebody. She kisses this guy. Then come to find out later on, like a couple months later, they are, I think a couple months later, again, this felt so disjointed. She's coming to pick a colleague up from the airport, and she does not have a very good perception of him, does not really like him, thinks that he's a nemesis, whatever. Turns out it's the same guy, right? Could have seen that coming. So anyways, there's back and forth, and eventually there's a romance because they have to travel around together. It's a whole thing, but like, I don't know what happened in the book. I don't care what happened in the book. I felt like I wasn't paying attention, but I was. But you know when you're listening to an audiobook and you feel like you missed some parts? That's what this felt like, even though I was listening. I was paying attention. It's just that we skipped too many things. So yeah, 2 stars for this one. So we had a great one and then a not great one. It's fine. So we defended with both of these. I'm basically doing it where like whatever has the most points, if I can get more points to defend, I'll defend. If I can get more points to attack, I'll attack. That's essentially what I'm doing. I am finding this year that it is much easier for the books that I'm reading for the defense points. I'm able to defend a lot more. I feel like I've only attacked like maybe 2 or 3 times. That's it. So anyways, we've defended with both of those. It wasn't a ton of points, but it is what it is. I am going to finish this little series out with the Sweetest Connection, I believe is the last one. So we're gonna finish this out and then we'll switch gears. I think the key to being like productive this weekend and the key to getting through a lot of things is to switch genres, switch gears every couple of books. So I think we'll do that. And then I think we'll do maybe a fantasy romance potentially, because I do have, where is it? It's a little bit bigger, but I feel like today would be a good one for that. There were stickers in there. For Heart of Silk and Shadows, which is the prequel novella to Court of Blood and Bindings. And I think that this evening might be a good opportunity to do some like physical reading. So we'll see what happens there. And then I also want to read Rest Stop, which is a horror. Those are my plans for right now. I don't have anything else to do. I need to finish. I have to like edit my last clip for the vlog and then we can get back to reading. Hello, happy Sunday. It's been a bit since I have talked to you. I don't think I talked to you much last night at all, but I have some updates. So I finished the last of the Denise Williams trilogy, like not trilogy, their companion novellas. I think I'm just gonna give the third one like 3 stars. Truly a book that exists. I feel like because it was like a lot of like flashbacks, it was like going back 10 years before, like when they were in college and then present day and back and forth and back and forth. It felt like that should have been a novel. It felt like there was a lot going on in such a short amount of time that it was like we were getting highlights, right? It's almost like this was maybe a writing project that she kind of had this vague idea that she wanted to expand on, perhaps. But yeah, 3 stars. So then I decided I wanted to go to fantasy romance and I read The Veiled Kingdom. So I finished this one this morning, got about 75% of it done last night. I really enjoyed this. Oh my God, Holly Renee, she can write smut. Okay, my memory card filled up very quickly. I guess I need to go in and like get rid of some of the old stuff and clean them out. I haven't done that in a long time. Anyways, The Veiled Kingdom. This is, okay, I do think that it needs to be longer. I think the overwhelming opinion of this is that like the 2 books could have just been 1 book because this is the first book in like a novella series. I say novella, I think it's like 300 pages. 294, okay. So anyways, this is the Bookish Box special edition that has like this stunning purple. Oh, it's gorgeous. So anyways, I'm trying to, you know, read the books that I own. I had this on audio and so I was listening to that last night and today. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I will continue the series eventually, but like I said, I don't own the second one. And I'm trying to read books that I own. This stack over here of hauled books is getting overwhelming, but I can't be stopped because I'm about to show you 2 books that I am hauling right now. It's fine, it's fine. But another one that I bought this year and so I'm reading it. I decided to pick up this morning The Dead Cattail Assassins by Peeta Jelly Clark. So I'm gonna read this and then I'm going to physically read Rest Stop. It's up on the shelf right now. But those are gonna be my last 2 books for this readathon. We have about 6 hours left. And so I think I can read them. Why is my Discord just went like crazy on my watch? Anyways, I think I can read both of them. I think I've got about 2 hours left of this at my listening speed. And then I'll physically read and we'll try to finish them up at the like 48-hour mark. I think I can do it. I think I can. It'll be a little bit of a push, but we're about to finish my last sprint that I'm hosting. Then we're going over to Mel's channel. So this is a fantasy about assassins and they are tasked with like killing a certain thing, like a certain person, whatever. And it's kind of an interesting like humorous writing style to it while still being dark, which I think is a really interesting vibe and something that I've been really enjoying. Those sworn to the matron of assassins, resurrected, deadly, wiped of their memories, have 3 unbreakable vows. First, the contract must be just. Second, even the most powerful assassin may only kill the contracted. The third, and the simplest, once you accept a job, you must carry it out. And if you stray, a final death will be mercy. Anyways, so our main character just found out about that third one, and the contract she has been given is going to be difficult. We'll just put it that way. So I'm enjoying this. It's a little bit like of a higher, like maybe big brain book, which may not have been a great idea for like the end of this 48 hours, but you know, it's still gonna be fun. Let's talk about the two things that I am hauling. These came in the mail yesterday and I just forgot to unbox them. So I found this author on TikTok, but then also she's going to be at the Romance Out West convention that I'm going to at the end of the month. And so I was like, well, I want to try to read her books beforehand. And this is a sapphic pirate romantasy, which is something that I need more of in my life for sure. So it's got a couple of character art. So let's see, some stickers. Read sapphic stories. I'm just gonna let you read that one. Not gonna say that one in case there are children. That one's not safe for work, but I'll show you this one. And this is On Stolen Tides by Kay Lilock. It says, from escaping an arranged marriage to working with pirates, how much wilder can Lydia's life possibly get? Falling in love with a pirate was never on Lydia's agenda. Neither was aiding them in stealing from her father's friends and enemies. By the time they make sense of their growing connection, tragedy strikes, forcing Lydia to make a tough decision. But nothing could have prepared her for the true reason behind their piracy and what that means for Lydia's way of life. Sounds intriguing, and yeah, this might be something that I'm trying to pick up a couple of those. Like, I have a couple of books from authors that I was introduced to via this romance convention. It's like the first romance convention in Utah, because we have like the Brandon Sanderson one, but we don't typically get one with romance. So I'm excited. That'll be at the end of the month. And then my fairy loot box finally came in. This is February's box. It's the middle of March. They said that it had gotten shipped on like the 22nd, and then it sat there just saying like label created for 2 weeks, and I don't know what happened. But it's finally here. I've already seen what it is because, like I said, it's very late. But yeah, this is, if you also had yours late, you've been trying to avoid spoilers, come back in a minute. This is Iron and Embers by Helen Schurer. So this is a stunning book, okay? It's absolutely stunning with these purple and teal. Like, it's very much my vibe. Like, look how pretty that is. Stunning. It's very different aesthetic than the red one that just seems darker and bolder and moodier, and this one is definitely different. And then there is this alternate, it's just like a color swapped, it's purple, but I love this green. And then that, stunning. Okay, can we just acknowledge that he looks like The Witcher? I am going to be reading this summer. My patron and I are reading the Blood and Steel series starting in April. We're gonna do one a month, and so I want to read that one before I read this. I don't think you have to, but I think you'll get more out of this one, if that makes sense. So this will be the summer read. All right, anyways, I need to get back to reading, and I'll chat with you later. Hello, quick phone update. I look like a hot mess because it is so windy outside and it's so cold. But I decided I was going to do a little bit of a break and go grocery shopping because I need to do that. I don't have any food. So that's what we did. I got stuff just for this week for dinners and some lunch stuff that's like easy to take to work. But anyway, I am 60% of the way through the Dead Cattail Assassins, and I am loving this. This is funny in a really dark way because our main character is like an assassin, right? And she has been tasked with this impossible task. However, the contract states that once you take on a job, you have to fulfill it. And this is literally impossible. Like, there's a paradox happening in it. And so they're struggling with that, because if they don't do it, then like it actually wrecks the entire like formula of the organization. So yeah, I'm having a good time with it, but it's funny. There was this part where she goes, I thought that what I heard from our messenger that blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to try not to spoil things. It's a novella, so like it's really hard not to. And she goes, I thought it was a lie and I would have had to cut his tongue out, but it is the truth. Please explain yourself. And she goes, well, at least his wife will appreciate that he still has his tongue. And like, what? That's so funny. Hilarious. Anyways, there's people looking at me while I'm trying to vlog. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But I'm gonna go home and try not to blow away, and I will talk to you when I'm done. I am editing this vlog and I am here with some super secret special information from Cassidy herself. You're gonna want to pay attention, especially the Monarchs. During the Gala of Peace weekend, we, the Monarchs, were attacked the least by the Stags. So, you know, Stags, you're our friends right now. Okay, back to regularly scheduled programming and past Brie. Hello, you're getting a phone clip because my camera's dead and I didn't charge it. It's fine. I finished The Dead Cattail Assassins. I'm giving this 5 stars. This was a win. This was so good and such a unique, like, world, a unique magic system, a unique political system. I can't talk. I've been vlogging for way too long this weekend. Like, I want an entire novel of this, and I definitely want to read more of his work. I know he does like a lot of like horror stuff, and like Lexi and I were talking about this, but it was so good. It was so good. Yeah, definite win. I needed 500 pages of this. Like I would have read an entire series, an entire like a world of this. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I have been vlogging for so long. I feel like I've ran out of words this weekend. We've definitely we've hit the wall as far as, you know, content, as far as cohesive sentences making. Yeah, okay. I think at this point I'm just like delusional tired. But we have a couple of hours left. I want to try to get in one more book. I want to read Rest Stop, and I kind of think it will be fun to end on a horror. A lot of other people have been reading that this weekend. I want to see what all the hype is about. And I love Nat Cassidy, so like as an author, I've never actually met him as a human, but like, you know what I mean. Anyways, so we're going to try to get that one finished before 5 o'clock. But that means I need to go read. All right, so we are on the final sprint for the Gala of Peace. I keep wanting to call it Peace Talks. The Gala of Peace. And I have about 50 pages left of Rest Stop. I stepped away from sprints for a little bit after like got home from grocery shopping, ate, and you know, watched TV for a little bit, but I was also reading this. I'm reading it physically, like, because I can't find the ebook for it. There is no audiobook, and I am reading this so quickly. I think I have like less than 50 pages left of this book. This is a weird book. This very much reminds me of not the book, not the story, but the vibes of We Need to Do Something by Max Booth III, I think is his author's name. Anyways, it's just like, it's such a fever dream of a book. There's a freaking tarantula spider thing that falls from the ceiling. Then there's a snake that falls from the ceiling. There's googly eyes everywhere, and they're like terrifying. It's just like there's so much happening at like all at once. And our main character just like is hyped up on adrenaline. There's so much going on. There's so much being thrown at our main character that like they don't know what's going on. I do also think like there's some like flashback scenes that are happening, and there's a lot of conversation about like generational trauma. Our main character Abe is Jewish, and there's a lot of conversations about his grandparents, and there's these like flashback scenes where we're having like, I think they're flashback scenes anyways. They feel like flashback scenes, but again, I am so lost with this book. But I think that's the point. Much like in We Need to Do Something, where you just don't know what's going on and everything is just so surreal. It feels like when you are visualizing something, but everything is like, the focus is turned off. So you can kind of see the haze of something, but I cannot picture exactly what is going on. But then at the same time, the author is adding in these like moments of humor and moments of like high tension, but it's kind of hilarious at the same time. It's so absurd and bizarre that it's kind of working. So I don't know what that says about me. I think that this book is also very personal to Nat Cassidy, and like it's telling a lot of his own story, much like Nestlings did, where Nestlings was discussing a lot of personal shit that happened to him, and he's kind of like processing a lot of those experiences through his characters, and I think that that's such an interesting way to do that. You know, put your characters through trauma, and that's therapy apparently. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this up. We've got like 30-ish minutes left, and I've got 50 pages left, so I think I can do it. And yeah, we're gonna bust this out and finish up the Peace Gala.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
No, but what was that ending? What was that? That was a fever dream. That was absolutely absurd, and I don't know that I liked it. Okay, the first 2/3 of this book are fantastic, but the last bit of it was weird, and I don't know how to find the string and connect the dots from where we were to how it ended. And I kind of feel like Nestlings had that problem too, where the ending just went absolutely absurd. Sorry, Shotzi's like walking around back here. But I don't know how I feel about this. Like I kind of see what he was doing, but I just don't understand how he got there. Does that make sense? I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. So that is going to wrap up the Gala of Peace. That is going to be the end of the 48 hours. I am going to be vlogging next week, so don't worry. We still have lots of Realmathon content. I have a fun new vlog planned where I don't have a ton of control, so that's cool. But I read 8 books this weekend. They were all short, but 8 books is still a lot. Also, looking at my spreadsheet, I read 1,305 pages this weekend. 1,305 pages in 48 hours, and that included sleeping. Like, that's pretty good. Not gonna lie, you know, gonna pat myself on the back for that one. I had some wins, I had some misses for sure, but I am kind of excited to take the night off for a little bit, and not read, and B, start reading things that are maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe something that will take me more than a day to read, who knows. But that is going to be a wrap on the 48-hour Readathon. I will have all of the information for Realmathon down below if you are interested in it. If you have no idea what it is, I'll have Cassidy linked down below. You can still participate. Obviously, the Gala of Peace is over, but the Realmathon, the whole month-long thing, is still hacking, and you can backlog your books. There we go. And if you want to see my most recent Realmathon vlog prior to this one, if you missed it because it happened during this, I posted it on Sunday, it's gonna be right here for you. I was reading some new releases and doing some cozy hobbies, which continued on into this weekend, not gonna lie. If you are not feeling chatty, you have to do the eyeball emoji, because there's like googly eyes in here. So the eyeball emojis. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!